The story of Pontius Pilate, the Roman governor deeply involved in the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, transcends its religious context to become a captivating historical and moral investigation. In this video, we will explore the life, choices, and ultimate fate of Pontius Pilate in an effort to unravel the mystery surrounding this crucial figure in biblical history. Today, we will delve into the life and tragic demise of Pontius Pilate. Who was he? How did he rise to power? Why did he wash his hands of the decision to crucify Jesus? And what were the tragic consequences of the choices he made? Stay with us until the end of the video, as you might be surprised by how his story unfolds. But before we dive into the details, do us a small favor by hitting the like button to support the channel, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll never miss out on our latest videos. Let's get started. To truly understand Pontius Pilate, we need to first examine the world he was a part of. In 63 BCE, the Roman Empire conquered Judea, bringing the region under Roman control. This occupation was deeply resented by many Jews who longed for independence from foreign rule. The Romans and the Jews lived in a state of cultural and religious friction, with the Romans worshipping many gods, while the Jews followed a monotheistic faith. This divide often led to conflicts in beliefs and practices. The Roman Empire placed a heavy tax burden on its provinces, including Judea, to support its vast military and governmental machinery, and this taxation was another source of tension between the Jews and their Roman rulers. Roman governors like Pontius Pilate were appointed to oversee these provinces, tasked with maintaining order, collecting taxes, and ensuring loyalty to the emperor. The way these governors exercised their power frequently led to friction with the local population, especially when their actions showed insensitivity to Jewish religious practices. For instance, attempts to install Roman symbols, such as emblems and statues in Jerusalem, violating the Jewish prohibition against graven images, provoked outrage and protest. In response to these and other grievances, Jewish resistance movements, like the Zealots, arose, intent on overthrowing Roman rule through armed rebellion. This atmosphere of unrest was the backdrop against which Pontius Pilate governed, putting immense pressure on him to maintain control over a turbulent province. The early life of Pontius Pilate is not well documented, and the information we have about him comes primarily from brief historical references and the accounts in the New Testament. Pilate was born around 26 BCE into a family that belonged to the Roman equestrian order, a social class just below the senatorial class, but still considered part of the Roman elite. His exact birthplace remains uncertain, though it is likely that he was born in central Italy. Little is known about his education or early career, but he rose to prominence through his connections with influential figures in Roman politics, which eventually led to his appointment as the governor of Judea. As prefect of Judea, Pilate shared limited civil and religious power with the Jewish Sanhedrin, a council of elders. His role as prefect involved overseeing the civil administration of the province, enforcing Roman law, maintaining public order, and administering justice. Pilate also commanded the Roman military forces stationed in Judea, giving him the authority to use military power to suppress uprisings and maintain order. Additionally, he was responsible for overseeing the collection of taxes, a crucial aspect of Roman governance that funded the empire's vast operations. As the highest judicial authority in the region, Pilate had the power to preside over trials and inflict capital punishment, which made him a central figure in the trial of Jesus. Despite this authority, the Gospels depict Pilate as a man reluctant to take full responsibility for Jesus' fate. In the Gospel of Luke, Pilate finds no guilt in Jesus, but faces intense pressure from the Jewish religious leaders, who accused Jesus of claiming to be king and threatening Roman authority. Pilate attempts to pass the responsibility to Herod Antipas, the ruler of Galilee, who had also been involved in the death of John the Baptist. However, Herod returns Jesus to Pilate, forcing him to make the final decision. Though Pilate personally believes that Jesus is innocent, he ultimately gives in to the crowd's demand for crucifixion, fearing a potential uprising if he refuses. The Gospels of John and Matthew depict Pilate as questioning Jesus about his claim to be king, but ultimately mocking him and surrendering to the crowd's will, even as he symbolically washes his hands of the decision. During the Passover festival, Pilate offered to release one prisoner to the people as part of a long-standing tradition. He proposed releasing Jesus, but the crowd demanded the release of Barabbas, a convicted criminal. Pilate's wife, Claudia, had also warned him not to get involved, having had a troubling dream about Jesus. Despite these warnings, Pilate allowed fear of a rebellion to dictate his decision, and he handed Jesus over to be crucified. His act of washing his hands before the people, symbolizing that he bore no responsibility for Jesus' death, could not absolve him of his moral failure. After the crucifixion, Pilate remained governor of Judea for several more years, continuing to act with brutality in his rule. Historical accounts tell of Pilate ordering the massacre of Galileans who were making sacrifices in the temple, as well as the slaughter of a group of Samaritans who were searching for sacred artifacts. These actions led to complaints from the local population, and Pilate was eventually recalled to Rome to face judgment. However, by the time Pilate reached Rome, Emperor Tiberius had died, leaving his fate in the hands of the new emperor, Caligula. What happened next remains uncertain. Some traditions claim that Pilate was exiled to Gaul, where he eventually committed suicide due to disgrace, while others suggest that he retired as a former governor and lived out the rest of his life in obscurity. Early Christian historians, such as Eusebius, provide accounts of Pilate's death, with some claiming that his suicide was a form of divine retribution for his role in Jesus' crucifixion. While these accounts are debated, with some scholars arguing that Pilate may have simply retired as a Roman official, his legacy remains one of moral ambiguity and missed opportunities. His involvement in the crucifixion of Jesus and his failure to act on his own convictions have ensured that his name is remembered throughout history. Pontius Pilate's legacy stands as a complex interplay between power, morality, and personal conviction. His pivotal role in the crucifixion narrative, marked by moments of indecision, political expediency, and moral failure, continues to fascinate and provoke reflection. The haunting image of him washing his hands, the reluctant choices made under pressure, and the consequences that followed have left an enduring mark on both religious and historical discourse. Pilate's tale is not just a story of faith, but a timeless exploration of human nature, prompting us to reflect on the lasting impact of the choices we make under pressure. If you found this episode interesting, please share, like, and leave a comment with your thoughts on Pontius Pilate's role in the crucifixion of Jesus. Thank you for watching.